Well, I guess I'm ready now. You played the theme song, man.
Bro, you got me. It kind of sets the mood. Oh, I need to fix this.
Man, I'm digging the acoustics in this new place, man.
Yeah, you think so?
No, I actually do like it. Sounds good over the headphones.
It does sound good over. It's a little, definitely more of a room.
Yeah.
Purely because of the 10-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
Jesus
Is this
Christ,
the this isn't the first
all
thing you've done, eh? You and Luke have done some?
No, Luke and I haven't done any. I've asked him, but he's declined.
True, eh?
But I did one with Kaylee. So his real name should be Kaylin and Bailey last night.
True, eh?
And it's pretty good. Kaylin didn't say much because he was really, really high. So if you go listen to the podcast, he'll probably say a total of 12 words and he'll attest to that. But Bailey told some really funny stories.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Have you ever met Bailey?
Have I ever? Yes.
Have you ever like heard him in his
Yes,
peak
I know
funniness?
Bailey. Yeah, I know him.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah, I like him a lot, man. He's a real good guy.
He's supposed to. I told him. So Kaylin's also got this buddy named Brennan. And
Yeah, I've met
You
Brennan.
met Brennan?
Yeah, he's Sloth's good buddy.
True. Oh yeah, you have, because he was probably a sauce.
He went to our house.
I don't
One
think
of our
he was there
parties,
that
bro.
night.
He was.
I
know he was.
really?
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, true.
I can't say it on the podcast, but he was definitely there.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Him and Bailey were supposed to start their own comedy podcast.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so just have them shoot the shit. They are both so fucking
Yeah, I was going to
funny.
say, Brandon's a really good guy,
Both
too. I
of
like
them
that guy.
just off the freestyle are so talentedly funny. It's unbelievable. Okay, well, this is...
Man, how good were some of those...
Wait. Sorry, before we get to that. Episode 15 of the can opener. Welcome.
15, eh?
Yeah, this is episode 15.
Yeah, I should introduce myself.
Yeah, we got Evan Stolman here with special guest, not so special.
I was going to say, reoccurring guest, dude,
Yeah,
Jacob Van Dyke.
God bless America. This is episode 15. I got some very good podcasts coming up. There's this chick at work who her mom is an immigration officer.
Oh, no way.
I told her to ask her mom if she wants to do an interview. So that'd be interesting.
Oh, that'd be a dope one.
Super.
Man.
That'd be like my first. I'd be so nervous, man, because
I
that's
was
like
gonna
me
say,
sitting
yeah.
down. I got to prepare some questions. I got to like really take it serious within that format. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting though. I'm having an interview with my prof too.
Oh yeah, you were
next
saying
week.
that, yeah.
And
next week, I got planned.
And another podcast that I record at the studio I work at, Pop Up Podcasting. Shout out to Pop Up Podcasting. But we got some good ones coming up. This one's gonna be fun. This one's gonna be a not so serious one. But we have to.
Wait, you're doing the interview or no?
What?
It's just like the other pop-up podcast, right?
Yeah, the other podcast. We'll just be hanging out because like
Okay.
I talk on their podcast when I record them. I'm like actually Jamie in that circumstance.
Yeah. I remember you. Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet, but it'll be me interviewing them, just asking them questions that I haven't heard them say on their podcast yet.
That's pretty dope.
Oh, it's super dope. I'm just excited. And then me and you, we got some big ideas for the Can Opener Network.
I was gonna say I was working on another one today.
Speaking into existence. It's like we'll have this shit done. I'm gonna ask a lot of other people. I'm curious about how do you think I should approach people for writing for the Can Opener Network?
That's a good question, actually. If I were you and you were me,
Yeah.
and I would probably approach everybody I could. I'd try to get all the content writing wise, because I feel like that's going to be the harder content to get from people. And it would be the content that people would be more willing to dedicate themselves to, because they're going to be judged on it a lot more than the podcast, I feel.
Yeah, but how many people do you think will do it seriously and within good quality of what I want to put up there?
Well, that's the thing. Because so many people are going to be judged on the work that they put up, I think fewer people are going to be down to do it.
Yeah.
But I think if you could get people that were like super down to do it, like I think you could probably get some really good content.
It'd be super
going.
interesting,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
If there were some dedicated, and that's all it takes, right? Is a team.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta.
No one can do anything by themselves, especially that. Like I think about it, me and you, we couldn't write 4 articles a week each. Like, and that's how much you need. Because I think about it, it's like I always think about the fucking Dr. Dre line on Kendrick Lamar's album. He's like, the hardest, it's easy getting a spot like mine, but the hardest part is keeping it. And I think about it. It's like, I think we have enough good content. We have enough insight. We have a different perspective to grab a lot of attention in 1 second. But then what is the plan after you grab that attention? You need a plan to sustain that attention right after you grab it. Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part. It's like figuring out how to be consistent with the content.
That's definitely true. But the consistency, like the variety might be just as much of an appeal as the consistency.
100%, but there definitely needs to be consistency. I need to there needs, once that moment strikes, once the clock hits 12, and who knows, you put it on an article and we put it on fucking Facebook ads and it gets 100,000 views. It's like, but that's super realistic.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it's just a fucking clickbait article.
No,
and it's like you get 100,000 views, get that much traffic to the site. How do you sustain that amount, the volume of people coming at your site? Because you don't just want to have that and be like, boom. Like, you want to be able to like jump on that, because that's how people grab attention of users nowadays. Because there's got to be just more content, good content. It's got to be consistently good content. So that's what I'm curious about. Is like, I need to definitely start asking people. But do you think it should be diverse? Like,
that's the thing. Like, you've asked me before about if you think what direction the network.
You got to talk into the mic, dude.
What direction the network should kind of go in?
Like into the front of it, not into the top of it. You know what I'm saying?
Is that like the angle?
Yeah, or you can lift it up.
How do I tighten this actually?
Yeah, like that.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Got it?
Yeah. Oh no, this one, right? Oh, true. There we go. Yes, yeah, I need that one tighten more, man. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, the direction. No, you can't do that, dude. Okay, yeah.
There, now it's tight, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so the direction, like, I have this guy I work with now who's into sports, and he's a communications and media. He's taken that in at Carleton. So it's like, I'm curious, should I ask him if he wants to write, like, should sports articles be introduced within the Can Opener network? Like, should it be a focused demographic, or should it be just trying to touch every base? Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like it should be more of a focused demographic. The only way you start out anything is with a niche audience, and then once with that niche audience, you build and grow after that. And I'm trying to figure out the niche. What is the niche? I've been putting some thought into it, and I want to do, have these articles. Mm-hmm. Me and you write an article a week. If you're as dedicated
I'd totally be down to put up an article a week, man. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it now. Okay. I'll do an article a week. Let's go.
And we do that. Sorry, I'm rolling a joint.
Keep going.
We do that. So we do an article a week, and then we do a weekly podcast of a review. We still have our conversation, but we have a review, so it's a little more guided. We have a review of the articles that we put out on the Can Opener network, and have a conversation about that.
No, I've thought about that too, because the article that I've been putting together for a while, we've been talking about it in private, but I haven't brought it up on the podcast. Exactly. Kind of on purpose, because I want it to be after I put it out. I can kind of, say a few words about it, and then that will be a catalyst to the article could kind of be a lead way to the podcast theme.
No, exactly. It could be connected. It could be a part of the story. Mm-hmm. And what Jacob was saying before we had our little intro there. We went to this fucking...
yeah, that was the shit, man.
We went to a $6 comedy night amateur on Elgin Street in Ottawa, and it was... Like Jacob said, it blew my expectations out of the water.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
What was the advertisement on the website?
It was literally like, how did they phrase it? It was like, some are good, some are bad, some are so bad that they're good. But honestly, all of them, except
open the window?
Debatably one of them, was unbelievably talented, like so good.
Which debatably, which one?
That older dude who was
Which one?
The bald
one?
guy?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I didn't like him. But everybody else, especially the second last act, not the headlight act,
Yeah.
but the one before that, I thought was incredibly talented. The story that they told.
And it goes to my point. It's like the way I'm thinking about that podcast is to do a weekly. It's a part of the story. Whenever I go see some form of art, every single one of those comedians that performed reminded me of the story.
No, that's definitely
It's
true.
super interesting. They reminded me of how powerful the story is because the good comedians created a narrative. The one said, yeah, I'm pretty good. He repeated that. You know what I mean? It was a part of the story.
so
It always
true, eh?
came back to the hook of the song, which was, yeah, I'm good. And the Indian guy after with story 1, story 2. It's a continued narrative. I thought about that. I feel like I always reach sort of those conclusions when I'm seeing some sort of art.
Oh, the
form.
story is key for sure.
Especially in art.
But that second last comedian who made his theme his girlfriend, like the entire thing, and about like how pathetic he was, kind of was like his theme of his thing. And then the very end of his act, he sang this song and he was like fabricating the girlfriend the whole time. That killed me, man. I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever heard. Oh, that guy was so good.
Was he fabricating the girlfriend?
Yeah, man. He was crying about the girlfriend during the song. And he was like, why'd you break up with me?
True, I didn't even catch that. But super interesting. I don't know, I'm inspired. I'm not inspired by the 40-year-old dudes who don't know that they're not funny. I guess they do it for fun, but like...
That's true. The MC even kind of announced that dude, like, yeah, like everybody else, he's like, I've seen this guy all around, and this older dude, he was like, I know this guy.
And he's really funny. That's all he said. Yeah. What did you think about the Indian guy's, like, approach to comedy? This Indian guy spoke really softly into the mic, like this.
Yeah, when he first came up, I was like,
time.
yeah. And that slowly,
Spaced out
too.
his words.
That spaced out, yeah.
I was like, okay, how are you going to grab our attention?
At first, I didn't like his approach, because that's what I was thinking, too. But he really played his personality in it, I feel. You know, he did a really good job.
He had funny jokes. He was
had
a
some
smart
really good
guy.
jokes,
That's what you could tell. What's the key to stand-up comedy?
The key?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough, man, because I feel like a lot of them play their personalities great, like that guy, and then a lot of them just play a character that's not at all like their personalities, and they kill that too. You know, like that chick Ashley, the one who was taking our tickets.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool too.
They all worked there. The dude served us the beer. The old guy with the fucking who looked like he was 60, but he was 40.
Way. That's so funny.
They all worked there. They all just hang out. They're all buddies. They're like, haha, Tuesday night, let's go up on stage and make a fool of ourselves. I loved the kid at the beginning. This kid
Yeah, he was really
out,
good too. Eh?
And he just sat down and he's like, I'm gay. I came out. What a powerful approach to a story.
Yeah,
I'm curious
true,
how
eh?
old he was.
Looked only a little bit older than us, like
He did.
early mid-20s.
Would you go up on stage and do stand-up comedy?
Be a nerve-wracking thing, but I feel like it would be a real productive, growing thing to like do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It'd be powerful.
Having never done anything like that before,
Yeah.
you know, that would be so, like, coming off that stage and the people
Yeah.
clapping and the feeling that you would get, man.
Think about it, they only did like 6 minutes, and like these comedy specials are like an hour long.
Oh,
You
I
watch
know.
Dave Chappelle kill it for like 3 hours, and you're like, damn. The amount of how funny you must fucking actually be. Okay, what do you think about this Louis C.K. thing? I think we talked about this, did we?
We
Yeah,
did talk about it, yeah. It is outrageous that he did that.
Yeah,
Louis C.K. is just,
but it's unbelievable because he's the man.
yeah, that's the thing. He
He's
is,
the dude.
before that, obviously, he's my
Yeah.
hero, bro. Like, I
does
love
that
Louis
take
CK.
away from his comedy, his fucked up personality? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so at all.
His comedy is there. That's his work.
But you gotta
that's his
recognize
art.
it at the same
You
time.
have to recognize that he did that he's clearly a little fucked up. that there's some.
But his
There's
comedy is
something
still
off.
the best ever. Like, all-time
Is
greatest.
he the best ever? You think so?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so too. I honestly am not that into comedians. I like Joe Rogan, but not his stand-up. Just not for me.
I definitely,
Something about his caricature that he portrays that's just not interesting to me anyway.
I definitely know what you mean. Like, he's an example, I think, of someone who, like, plays a character that isn't at all himself, obviously, when you compare it to the podcast or the stand-up. But his character, I think, I don't know. I think he does a pretty good job.
I do too. I'm just curious, what are his major faults? Because I don't think he totally shares those over the podcast, you know what I mean?
No, he definitely doesn't. Definitely hides them.
Yeah, what are his, like, major... 'cause everybody's got something, like, that just is not right. And I'm super curious. He's an inspiration, though. Who's been inspiring you lately?
Lately?
Yeah.
Like, really lately?
Yeah.
My one professor, Sean Thompson. Shout out, Sean Thompson.
Yo, when is he going to be on the podcast?
Man, that'd be sick. He'd be a great guest, bro.
I'll ask him.
No.
What do you do in the studio?
Yeah, that's true. Real professional.
Yeah.
Such an inspiring dude, man.
Meet me downtown, Sean. I got a buddy who wants to interview you. Like,
But, I don't know, like, in
why
the...
is he inspiring?
I don't know. It's like a combination of the stuff that he has done and the way that he talks about the stuff that he's done to inspire, like, you know, us, just the crowd that he speaks to. I don't know.
Do you really think that's why, or do you, like, feel relatable to him?
Well, yeah, I definitely feel relatable to the guy, you know? Like, he's just, I don't know, a really good prof, you know?
Has he told you any, like, stories
Nothing specific, you
that,
know?
like, made you click that? Like, made that thought click in your head? Like, do you remember that moment that clicked in your head and you were like, wow, this guy is, like, I'm inspired right now?
No, there was no, like, click moment like that or anything that really, I don't know. I just think he's a real cool dude, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's more his career path that he's taken that inspires me more than anything, because I would love the independence that this guy lives every day, you know?
True. Yeah. So he's an entrepreneur? Is he a freelancer?
Yeah, like, he's a teacher, so he's tied to the college that way, and he's a financial planner for Fidelity, so he's tied to it that way, but he doesn't have any sort of schedule. Well, he does with the school, but
Other than the school.
Yeah. But I mean, he's the coordinator for the finance
Yeah.
program as well, so he can.
Is that your dream?
Right now, in a lot of ways, he's living a very good career
Not
life.
him specifically, but, like, that idea.
Like the career life that he lives.
Well,
Like,
just being independent.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I'd like to have a little bit more of my own stuff going on rather than being tied to any sort of schedule.
Yeah.
But
It's hard though. No matter what. My boss at the podcast too the other day is like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, it's great to be an entrepreneur. You don't have a boss, but realistically, you have 20 bosses because they're all your clients.
oh yeah, like you'd keep a lot busier by not having a schedule.
You're still on a schedule though.
You are,
have
you are.
to schedule things like that. That just comes with life, right? It's like,
but if you're doing it for yourself, man, it makes such a big difference.
It's such a big difference. You and there's nothing wrong with it, building another man's dream,
No,
right?
definitely
But that's
not.
what happens. That's just the spot you get put in, whether you like it or not, if you choose to follow that route. And there's possibility.
Oh yeah, it just depends if you want to take the risk or not too. And I'm definitely okay with accepting the risk financially and, like, you know, everything else. Like, I don't know.
What is there to lose?
Well, it depends on the kind of thing you want to pursue. I definitely plan to own my own business one day. Like,
but why would you not try? Is my question.
no, exactly.
What do you think? Why would you not try?
Well, I think a lot of people like the confidence of just knowing that they're going to have a salary to create their independence outside of their job.
Does outside of their job?
Yeah, because inside of their job, their salary doesn't give them any independence. But outside of their job, their salary...
Sorry, are we on the same page?
What do you mean?
So what did I say?
About why some people don't want to seek that independence?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think some people don't want to
close that
speak...
window for me,
Oh, yeah. And I just think some people don't want to seek the independence because they might feel like they... the security that the guaranteed salary that their job gives them.
Okay, so you use the word confidence, right?
Yeah, like financial confidence.
Do you think that's confidence or just fulfilling an insecurity? I think it's the difference between those two.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
It's like you're insecure about what you want, so you were told to follow this path.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thought. I don't think it's confidence. I think it's safety. But I don't know if safety is totally confidence.
It's definitely a lowering of anxiety.
Yeah.
Safety. But I know what you mean. Yeah, I should have used the word safety rather than... that's true, eh?
Yeah, that's my opinion too. It's scary. It is scary, like trying to do your own thing, like all these motherfuckers that we just saw, all the comedians who were like, I just wasted $50,000 of my dad's money to go to college, and now I'm here doing
that's
this.
true.
Like that's scary.
Oh,
good
it definitely is.
Good for you guys, because that's a scary moment.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what.
Yeah, that's like the genre of art, man, that I just find to be the most inspiring. Stand-up comedy, man. I just think it's the coolest shit because so many people come from that type of background. I guess that's kind of what you get out of like music.
Yeah.
But just that, like...
The rawness.
Yeah, the rawness, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to follow my dream and I'm just going to try to make something of it.
The rawness.
That's so dope.
And just the no glitz and glamour, just a straight up, it takes talent in order to be a stand comedian. There's nothing other than making people laugh. That's why I feel like you said about music. It's like there's nothing but that talent that'll get you there.
Yeah, that's true.
And you speak the truth. And you praise the people who speak the truth. It happens in both.
That's where I get torn with the music industry, though, man, because I feel like there is so much like
bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit, man.
But in
fake, I don't want to say fake promotion, but like the sort of like mainstream pump that gets put into music, like how one person can just monopolize so easily if their shit is the next big thing, like Drake.
What do you mean? Drake. But don't you think he got there purely off of fans buying his music? You know what I mean? The popularity and the attachment that his fans had to his music, therefore those equaled sales.
I do.
In the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess I know what you mean. I don't know, man. I just feel like the music, and it's dying down more so than it used to be, but with like the radio promotion and all the...
Because of the internet, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's dying down a little bit more than...
It's like more real stuff coming out now. But there's still always a pop. But that's that's meant for a certain place at a certain time for a certain person. You know what I mean? That's just popular for a reason. It's not like it's not popular.
Yeah.
There is such thing as like, what's the word called? In radio, when they repeatedly play something over and over again.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like the desire and repetition.
Well, they like literally trick your mind into wanting to hear the song because they play it so much.
Yeah.
Comedy is very interesting.
Oh, it's just
especially
the rawest, bro. You're just standing up on stage and just saying shit.
Yeah. But what are we doing right now?
Yeah, but at least we have each other.
Yeah, you're right, Jacob. Yeah, sorry.
We got each other, bro. No, but like Alex Jones, like we've talked before about how that's a talent, bro. Just ranting on by yourself like that, and that's Well, I'm not a big Alex Jones fan, but what
No, he's mad.
what stand-up comedians do, man, that's such a talent, just ranting on for like whatever. It's obviously rehearsed, but just whatever's on your mind, you know? It's just whatever you're thinking about, whatever's in your life. It's so interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know, I was thinking about it too, it's like how I feel like I don't have that much interest in my life to go and make jokes about it.
Oh, you definitely do.
I guess so.
There's no question about it that you do.
Yeah.
It's just like Casey Neistat talks about his videos every day. It's not that he lives out this crazy life. It's that he's able to portray such a good 3-act narrative throughout his day every day. And that's all you have to do. You just have to create a good story. You have to create a good beginning, middle, and end through your comedy set. That's all the trick is. And it's like, I make it sound like it's easy. It's like super hard to do something like that, you know?
But you notice, I think this is me getting older. I don't know. The more I take in art of different forms, you notice the themes within the stories. Like at the beginning, I said they repeat the same. They have a hook. There's a hook for everything. There's hooks in books. There's hooks in music. There's hooks in comedy. They always come back. There's always some repetition within the cycle, which is like a literary.
Well, I was definitely
device.
trying to notice it during that comedy.
Me
like
too.
I was definitely trying to like think of how they're putting it together, you know?
Same.
And that's because they were amateurs, you know? It was super interesting,
it
you know? It
was
was
super
super
interesting.
cool.
They were pretty good, though.
They were super good, man. Like super talented.
I was impressed.
I was super impressed. Especially compared to that OB show that we saw, eh?
That OB show was so bad.
At our college bar. No,
Have we told this story?
We definitely haven't.
I think we have.
Have we?
I want to feel like I've said this story on this mic before.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You tell us.
Yeah, because at our college bar, because Yuck Yucks, that's the show that we went to tonight on Elgin Street in Ottawa. Super good show. I recommend it. And we went to their amateur night, but they also do this. The first show I ever saw was a Yuck Yuck show, actually, in Muskoka. Yeah.
A Yuck Yuck show in Muskoka.
Yeah. They go on tour, man. They all across the province, probably all across the, definitely all across the country, actually, because
Chris
they have
Hawes
them in.
told me that he went on Yuck Yuck's tour.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wild, man.
Yeah.
Because, I know they do it all across Alberta, all across Quebec, all across Ontario. And I don't know where else they do it, but I'm sure other provinces too. And, but the first, me and Evan went to this OB show at our college bar. And
It's
it
the
was
observatory at Algonquin College. Hit it up.
Yeah. Showed out.
Pretty lit. Pretty lit.
But the stand-up comedian was shit. Like
I don't. There's multiple people who played too, and I only remember this guy.
Yeah, that's true. I know, you're so right. And he was. It's because he was the headliner.
Yeah.
And the other people that played were so much better than the headliner. And this dude goes up and he's literally like, I mean, you know, you gotta have some sympathy for the dude, but he's up there and he's like getting heckled, and they're like, he's like, "This is my dream."
Guys up there at his old college, like, "This is my dream." Everyone laughed. That was the funniest joke of his entire set.
Yeah, it was so good.
It wasn't totally out of sympathy.
Yeah.
It's super embarrassing. I don't know. It's a ballsy sport.
No, it really is. Chris Hawes performed stand-up, eh?
Yeah. He did his thing back in the day. He owned a Yuck Yucks.
Owned a Yuck Yucks.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Told me about some crazy shit that he went through owning a comedy club.
Really, eh?
Some wild ass shit. Knowing the mafia and shit.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
In Quebec?
In Sudbury, like
True,
years
eh?
ago.
Man, that's trippy.
Because it was Sudbury was a town of like steel mafia. It was like a big trade haven for like drugs, because it was like, I don't know where it is on the map, but it's apparently centered in there. And it was steel and fucking drugs.
Man.
Yeah. I can't imagine living in Sudbury. It sounds like a shit town. How boring does Northern Ontario sound?
Yeah, Northern Ontario. It's just something.
Timmins. Sounds like the worst place to be ever.
Man, even like my old general manager at the store I worked at, he freaking went to New Liskeard. I feel like New Liskeard would be the...
My dad travels up there all the time. So in Loblaws, do you see Elon Musk's truck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit's crazy, bro. Did you watch the press conference?
Yeah, I did.
You know what Loblaws did?
Yeah, they ordered like 25
of them, bro. Shit's crazy. But Loblaws, they're saying in preparation for this $14 an hour minimum wage, they cut a bunch of middle management. I asked my dad, we were sitting down having fucking lunch at Pure Kitchen over there, and I was like, so were you nervous about all that? He's like, for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
For the first time, it's like, you know what? But
well, he's probably like upper middle management though.
He's middle management. It's a huge company.
Yeah, I guess
he's middle management. He's like, he's head office, but he's still middle management. And he's like, for the first time, and then he's like, but I kind of want to change. You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting.
Really, eh?
Yeah, interesting moment.
That is tricky.
Like, what would you do, Peter Stolman? He'd be frantic.
Well, he'd have a lot of options.
He would have a lot of options.
That's the thing. Options are a scary thing, though.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's in him is fear of taking a risk.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier. Already. It's like, you gotta take that risk. You gotta take that risk. There's nothing more powerful than taking that risk. So important.
Oh yeah.
You gotta know.
No, risks definitely are key, man. I feel like it's honestly like a key part of human existence is to take
it
risks.
Needs to happen,
like a lot of risks.
You get that sense of fulfillment out of taking that risk.
Oh yeah,
because there's
100%.
faith within that. But not only are risks important, but timing is just as important as risks.
No, definitely.
If you match those two things up, you will hit a fucking home run. But if you don't, you're gonna miss. Those two things need to line up within the stars.
What's luck? What did Casey Neistat say luck is? It's when timing meets preparation. That's right.
Yeah. Timing meets preparation. That's luck. And you create your own luck.
It's definitely true. You just gotta time it.
But it's hard. How do you know when the time is, Jacob?
Yeah, man, that's the thing. Nobody knows.
How do you know? Well, tell me. What do you think?
Timing?
Yeah, when is the right time?
I don't think anybody ever I think you can live your life feeling like every moment is the time, and I think you can die feeling like there never will be a time. Yeah. And I just feel like everybody has an equal opportunity to have their time.
100%.
You know, I feel like the people who have their time never feel like it's their time.
The people who have their time never feel like it's their time, but then how would people succeed?
Yeah, maybe sometimes people feel like it's their time, but and I'm not saying it's luck either. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't know. Nobody knows.
I think you create that time. That time is created by you. Mm-hmm. You got to be aware of that. But I think you get multiple chances. I don't think there's only one chance you can fuck it up. Maybe for that instance. But I think you can create your own time. You got to make sure you understand. You got to launch the catapult. You can't launch it early or late. That's the thing. A lot of people out here not doing anything.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't understand because the internet, think about it. It's like that is your time. We can do anything we fucking want. Put out any people. Kids are watching other kids playing video games.
A lot of kids are watching other kids playing video games, man.
Millions and millions of dollars generated through ad revenue is being created because kids are watching kids through fucking...
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah, speaking on fucking...
That's the thing, though. Does that really make their experience on this earth more fulfilling? Having that revenue coming in from other people watching them doing what they enjoyed, what they say they enjoy doing? Or would they enjoy it more if they just did it for themselves, you know?
Do you think purpose is an individual experience?
Purpose? No. Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, yeah. I'd say so. I'd say if you're doing it for somebody else, it definitely changes your experience.
Yeah, because I don't know if a lot of people, you know, I was in the Inside Source podcast, recording their podcast. I was like, do you guys think about living with purpose? And the first question was like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, that gave me a big eye opening. You know what I mean? Because like, I think this purpose thing is on a totally individual perspective. And now it makes sense. Like that kid could go to bed at night playing fucking video games and be like, this is my purpose. And that is his purpose within his world, within his own reality. It's like a different, you know what I mean? It's not as universal as it might feel between us.
No, that's true, eh?
Because I ask that question a lot. And I get the same, I always get like, what do you mean? It's like, how do you not understand that? It's because it's a different... It's different, but what does living with purpose mean to you?
I don't know, man. For me, I've been running into the problem a lot lately. You moved out from my place like 3 weeks ago. And I've been thinking to myself a lot lately, you know, like I just need to find some things, not because you're out specifically or anything, but, you know, just living by myself. I've been thinking like, you know, I need to find more things that make me feel fulfilled when I'm just by myself, and like tasks that I can actually enjoy just doing because I want to do them on my own, just me, you know?
Yeah.
But I just love relationships, man. I love talking to people. I love like...
It's powerful.
Oh, it definitely is, man. It's such a big thing for me.
Do you think that's innate within all humans?
I feel like a lot of people are a lot more comfortable by themselves than I am.
Do you think they're more comfortable, or do you think they just portray that way?
Yeah, it could be.
You know what I mean? You're the type of person to really follow his emotions and follow that instinct. Other people, I feel like, are better at submissing everything and just fucking sitting down and doing nothing and like not being fine with it, but putting up with it.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
I feel like that's like innate. Like we are tribal. We are tribalistic. Like we need to have those connections. If it's not there, then you're nothing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like I just feel like some people don't. But do you think that's going to be the future? Is less connectedness or more connectedness?
I think less connectedness, man, because I think that complacency, that being okay with just, you know, being by yourself, and that like being okay, or not being okay with it, but having fun with it, enjoying it, like
being at peace.
Yeah, exactly. Like being just by yourself, you know, loving that moment. I just think is an important thing. And I have those moments a lot. I like being, you know, I'm a really happy person. Yeah. But just, I don't know.
Life is a fucking wave.
Life is cyclical, man.
Yeah,
it definitely
it's on
is.
A frequency.
Oh yeah.
No, I totally agree with that. I feel like I've been a lot better at being alone, but I feel like I'm more productive when I'm with other people. You know what I mean?
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like,
man.
I feel like there's more. I asked the Inside Source podcast when I was there for their podcast. I was like, what motivates you? And it's like, you know, the people I hang out with, the people I'm always talking to, and they're on the next thing. Like, you know what I mean? There's something that motivates that person. There's something that's powerful within your group of people you have surrounded. That's your biggest motivators. It's not like fucking Gary Vaynerchuk online or whatever. He's not going to have nearly as much impact as the people you actually spend time with.
No, it's definitely true. Oh yeah, the people I talk to definitely, the conversations I have definitely shape my thoughts more than anything else.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's the best that way because you kind of have time to reflect.
Oh, exactly.
We get exposed to a lot of shit. We are exposed to a crazy amount of shit.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Past few years. Different relationships form and like going from different things. Like I think about going from a different workplace and like forming different relationships and getting to know different people. Super interesting.
Oh yeah, new
experience.
jobs are definitely a key thing. Shitty jobs are definitely an important thing when you're young.
Yeah, 100%. You got to sit down and be humble.
Yeah, man. I've learned way more at Canadian Tire than I would have at a nice job You know, like a
From-
easy.
Yeah, you know, taking calls or something like
Yeah, like a
in your dad's office.
super well-paying office job or something. You know.
100%. It's definitely different. Imagine living and not having to work.
Yeah, that'd suck.
I know. Think about how wild that would be. I appreciate these comedians tonight coming out and like talking about, you know, when shit gets you down, you just got to get back up.
Yeah, that's so true, eh?
Yeah, they had some good messages coming out.
Oh, they definitely did. Those stand-up comedians killed it, man.
Yucks. That was the first Yuck show I've ever been to.
That was my first one there.
I want to go see like a big guy in like some big arena.
I've seen
Louis C.K. jerking off in front of everybody. That's the bit I want to see.
I saw Gabriel Iglesias at Casino Rama.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Oh, so good,
I
man.
mean, he's a character.
Oh, unbelievable, man.
I'm making all his stupid fucking voices.
Just such a good storyteller as well, man.
Yeah.
Like, insanely good.
I wonder how he got to start.
I feel like it was a pretty fast takeoff.
You think so? But maybe it's different. I'm so curious.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Yeah, I'm so curious about how people have gotten to where they've gotten, especially in that sort of situation. Like
those sort of situations, it's really interesting because it could go either way. You know, somebody,
and that is totally built off skill. That is not like, my fucking cousin got me here. Like the only way you can be a stand-up comedian is through pure skill. There's no other pathway you can take, or if it's art, or if it's music, or if it's whatever. There's no other pathway you can take but having to be like the best at what you're doing.
That's so true, eh? It's just the raw, like, get up there and talk.
Yeah. And it takes skill. Like that takes hours and hours and hours of work.
Oh yeah.
That's nothing to just hold lightly. Super interesting. Yeah, so did you give me your answer? What is purpose to you?
Purpose?
Yeah. What does purpose mean to you?
What does it mean to me, eh?
What do you think about when you think about purpose in life? What are the first thoughts that come to your head?
Happiness, for sure.
Happiness.
It's like a synonymous, yeah.
Yes.
I think of purpose and happiness as like the same.
Okay, so do you think happiness is your purpose, or do you think purpose is achieving happiness?
Ooh. I think that once I'm happy.
Yeah.
Well, I am happy. I don't know, man. I feel like
that's the question I get caught up in a lot. That's the question I get caught up in a lot.
I don't know, man, because the happiest I ever feel is not when like I feel like have fulfilled something. It's like the hope of having something fulfilled in the future. And I feel like that hope is a big part of fulfillment as well. And that's why goals are super important.
It's very interesting. I need to grab a book I've been reading. Let me grab it. This is a quote that I read from this book today that has extreme relevance with that statement you just made.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is a book by Viktor E. Frankl, and it's called A Man's Search for Meaning, and he was a psychologist who was a Jew in Auschwitz. So, okay. And the story is about the psychology from a prisoner's perspective. And not only a psychology of his own world, but also like him trying to reflect on the soldiers, like the people who were torturing the fucking Jews. Like he was trying to analyze their psychology at the same time. It's super interesting. You need to read this book. Honestly, it's so fucking good. He says, any attempt at fighting the camp's psychopathological influence on the prisoner by psychotherapeutic or psychohygienic methods had to aim at giving him inner strength by pointing out to him a future goal to which he could look forward. Instinctively, some of the prisoners attempted to find one on their own. It is a peculiarity of man that he can only live by looking to the future. and this is his salvation in the most difficult moments of his existence, although he sometimes has to force his mind to the task.
That is the exact same.
Unbelievably, but it's like that is the exact quote from someone who is on the edge of like life, and like to live is to suffer, and that's the end of suffering. There's not much more suffering you can get within that moment, and he like came to that thought. Powerful. I thought about it. I was like, that's my entire fucking life. You know what I mean?
There's beauty in the struggle, man.
There is beauty in the struggle, but there's like that salvation is looking for the future, and like. Me and Luke kind of had a side conversation. I was like, he's like, Luke says that like anxiety, no matter what, is a neurotic mind frame. You know what I mean? Like that's not healthy to live with anxiety. That is technically anxiety to look towards the future. Mm-hmm. But when is anxiety really that bad of a thing, or is it just necessary in order to get to the next step? Like is that pressure of anxiety and that pressure of like feeling like you need to do something necessary to take that next step?
Yeah, anxiety definitely creates drive within people for sure.
Yeah. I
don't know if that drive though, even when people are incredibly successful with their drive, I don't know if that's really healthy for them.
Is that is that necessary within our little capitalistic society we have today?
Yeah, I think it's a part of our culture for sure.
But it even says the Jews needed to survive with that drive, whatever that future goal may be, whether that's getting out or like getting out of the camp and being able to start life over again. Like they needed that drive in order to stay alive. So maybe.
So you're saying it's more primal than our.
Maybe it is more primal
than our capitalistic.
Yeah, maybe it is more primal than.
That in your example, that specific Jewish sort of model of.
Sort of model.
Well, how you just phrased it anyway.
Yeah. But no, just being a prisoner.
Yeah, but I think that's very framing of our capitalistic culture.
What do you mean?
How you just said saving to make sure. How'd you phrase it? What'd you say?
I don't know if I'm following. I just said.
Do you think that's necessary in our culture?
Well, no. Well, that was necessary in their position. He's saying that was necessary. Mm-hmm. He's saying that drive for a better tomorrow is what kept him alive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's more primal than we think it is. Because I think about that a lot too. Is like, is that just, what is that? Mm-hmm. Because I'm definitely anxious about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the future, man.
Of course, there needs to be things that happen, and I need to get to that point, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get there.
Oh yeah, man. I think everybody has those.
Yeah.
Well, definitely everybody has those sorts of. But if it was easy, then it wouldn't be very interesting.
Yeah, right.
It would be pretty.
And it wouldn't feel as fulfilling.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it goes back to.
That's why we're just competitive at nature. You know, we're all competing against each other, and we've set this game in our culture that we have to make a bunch of money, or whatever your goal is.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And
that's the majority of the time.
Yeah, yeah. And we just are all competing against each other because we all want to win.
Okay, so it goes back to the question: what is purpose to you? Is it happiness? Happiness is a purpose, or is a purpose being happy?
I definitely think, and this sounds weird, this is like a confession, me saying it like this, but I feel like I'm definitely competitive about being happy. I feel like I don't want people, if I'm down, I don't like when people know that I'm down, you know? I don't like when people are sympathetic when they're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know, I hate that.
I totally get that. And it's just you not wanting to be insecure. It's not you not wanting to be like vulnerable enough, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I always feel when because I'm the exact same way. It's like I feel like I'm pushing for happiness. Mm-hmm. You know, happiness. I feel like happiness is the purpose, is the answer, but I'm not like that right now. you know what I mean? The purpose is to find happiness and whatever, like, you know what I mean? I'm searching for something right now. I don't know if that's going to lead to, I think the other one's the answer. So that's good news for me, I think, in the future. But the second one is like, it's like you, I don't want people to be insecure about the fact that I'm not.
Yeah. But you feel like that search for happiness creates anxiety for you sometimes then, eh? Is that what you mean?
Sometimes.
Oh, really? See, I don't find that. Like those days that I would come back from in White Hill and be like, man, today was a great day. Tomorrow is going to be a better day.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I felt that in those moments.
No,
like,
but there are other moments that I didn't feel that.
And you would say it anyway, or you just would? No, I guess you wouldn't.
I wouldn't know, because I felt, because I was inspired when I'm around people who are talking about, like,
That's
you know,
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's, I feel that way in that moment. But when there are moments alone, there's like times of doubt, and there's times of there's times of self-reflection, and I do a lot of self-reflecting. I fucking, whether it's healthy or not, right? But it's like, that's life to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna feel like shit sometimes. But I definitely do. I think that's better. What's the point? Have you ever seen the movie Signs?
No, I never have.
He's like, there's two people that believe in God, and people who believe that there's someone out there looking out for you, or people who don't. And it's like, which one would you rather be? It's your choice whether you want to believe that it's going to be good tomorrow. Because it's going to be way more likely that it's going to be good tomorrow if you think about that, if you think that it's going to be good tomorrow.
Yeah,
and if
that's
you
true,
don't,
eh?
it's like, which one do you want to be? And that's my thought on positivity. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's your thoughts too. Maybe it's the same conclusion.
Oh, you got to make it happen. For
exactly,
sure.
exactly. And that goes to your point of like, it kind of is a bit of insecurity, but I think it's the right way to cope with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have their shit, but they need to learn how to cope with it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you should try to force those happy moments when you are feeling shitty.
100%.
I feel like, you know, sometimes when I do feel shitty and I express that, then I feel way better than ever afterwards, you know? Like, it's
very true.
It's not a common thing, but it's when I do, it just feels so good after.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I remember this dude I used to watch on YouTube a time ago, man, when I was like 14, 15. Elliot Hulse was like this like guiding figure at the time for me, man. He would just like point me in these directions, and he said in this one video that he would like freak out, like, you know, however often he had to do it, however the stresses were in his life, usually like once a month or whatever. And he'd just like, you know, like break shit and just, you know, and he thought that was a really good thing for him to do. You know, he'd cry and he'd just, I definitely don't cry and freak out once a month, but you know, I felt like maybe it would help me if I did. I don't know, you know?
But you know what? I was reading that fucking book, You Are Not So Smart book that Luke gave me. And he said, there was this chapter on it that said, you know, venting is not good. You say like you're just gonna let it out.
See, I've definitely thought about that before too, and I don't think that's right.
Venting in that way, like screaming into a pillow, like you don't have to convey those emotions.
But I feel like we do, because I feel like we would have 100 or 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago if we felt those the feelings, which we would have felt the same feelings just in different ways, you know?
See, I just don't feel like I have to vent. I go to the gym and like I do my I get that physical energy out, but I never have to vent. There's never a moment where I have to scream into a pillow, or I have to. Like, there's no moment of anger that it comes to.
No, I've definitely had like 3 or 4 times in my life where...
Yeah, 100%. There's moments where you get angry, of course, because it's just that powerful of a situation. Mm-hmm. But it's not like it's suppressing it. You have to accept the fact that you feel like shit and just hope for a better tomorrow. I definitely agree with that. You can't just ignore it, right? Yeah. But you have to accept it, and you have to look at it. Mm-hmm. You have to like conceptualize the fact that it's there, because then you're lying to yourself, and then you have to hope for a better. And you can do that by reflecting that.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal experience, my boss asked me the other day, he's like, why are you so positive all the time? So every time I see him, I'm fantastic, because that's just how I want to be. And I gave a stupid ass answer. I don't remember. It was some bullshit. I was kind of nervous because we were filming something. I was like, but I really regret it. I was like, gratitude. Like, that is what I wish I said than the stupid bullshit answer that I gave. Because I felt like a fuck. I was like, oh, I wish I could turn back that time. But this is my time right now.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just being grateful to have that, to maintain that there's going to be a better tomorrow. To be like, wow. After reading this fucking book, it's reminded me.
Really? You like that one that much?
Bro, this is such a powerful story.
Really? One of the best ones you've read?
100%. I could not put it down.
No way.
Just think about everything in our life. Was it me and you who were sitting here the other day? We were like, everything in our life is a privilege.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I think it was me and Luke, actually. But everything in our life is
We were talking about privilege the other day.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we talked about privilege quite a bit, but...
Everything in our life.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can end it on that sort of... How do you find happiness? How do you get to happiness?
How do you find it? Am I not looking for it? Okay. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yo, I'm going to read you another fucking quote from this book, dude. This book is 10 out of 10.
No, because I definitely think doing whatever you want to do, but at the same time, if I didn't have the obligations of work and school and pay my bills and shit, what would I actually choose to do if there were no cultural impacts or social pressures or anything? You know, what would I do right now with my time, given my environment? I have no idea.
Well, because you can't even say that, though, to a certain extent, right? Because you are living right now. That wouldn't even happen. That's not even possible. That's true, not even a what if. Mm-hmm. You are living in this moment. You grew up with the exposure to the things you grew up with, and you are on this timeline. So that's not even a what if to a certain extent, right? You are exactly you right now. And those social blah, 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 those are very real.
Yeah, that's true. Those have shaped me my whole life.
And those have shaped everybody in their whole life.
Oh, yeah. It applies to everybody.
It's like impossible to reach that. But going back to what you said before, this is another quote from this book. And so it is both strange and remarkable to me that among some dozens of books I've authored, precisely this one, which I had intended to be published anonymously so that it could never build up any reputation on the part of the author, did become a success. Again and again, I therefore admonish my students both in Europe and in America. Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue, and it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as a byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. And that's exactly what you said. You know what I mean? Like, you can't chase it. You can't chase it. It is a byproduct of purpose. Mm-hmm. So what does that make that question? If it's a byproduct of... So is happiness purpose? No, happiness is not purpose. Happiness is a byproduct of purpose.
Or vice versa.
I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah.
Purpose is but but
you could do it either way.
Yeah,
no matter what.
You can do anything anyway. That's just how it is. You got any final words? You want to hit delete on that keyboard, please?
No final words from me.
When are we gonna do this weed-isode with me, you, and Jacob?
Yeah, we got to do one. I was trying to get him to come out tonight, man. He was being a big bitch, though. We got class at 8 tomorrow.
True. I got to work at 8:30. What time is it right now?
It's like quarter to 12.
Quarter to 12 on a Tuesday, November 21st night. It'll be up in like 4 days because I just did one last night. So I'll spread them out a little.
A good call.
But it was a good one.
It was a good one. I appreciated it as well.
Wow, look
exactly
at that.
Exactly an hour practically.
Wow, that was fucking... You want it? No, we're going to go 30 more seconds. All
right, we got to really drown this out here.
Yeah. So
It's like that moment when they. It's like when Casey Neistat said in his video the other day that when somebody gives you the mic and says to say something interesting, that you're never gonna think of something in that moment
so
interesting to say, you know.